What you wanna know? What's going on, people? Myke C-Town here with another episode of What Do You Want to Know, where you ask your questions, and if I kind of even sort of like your question, I will answer it on camera. And it's actually been a while since I did one of these, so let's jump right into it. First question. Let Him Bleed said, "Hey Myke, big fan of DHH and your channel, and one of the recent videos you made a comment referring to Lord Jamar's comments on race and hip hop. Can't remember which video. Do you really agree that white artists shouldn't redecorate, as he put it? I'm not sure what he means entirely. He mostly uses it to justify his homophobia / Macklemore beef. Thanks." No, Let Him Bleed, and I never said I agreed with any of that stuff. What I meant was I agreed with one simple aspect of Lord Jamar's comment. I'm glad you asked me this, actually, because I'm quite amazed that so many people misconstrued what I said, especially the people that really thought I agreed with Jamar's jackass homophobic statements. Like, really? When I said I agree with Jamar's statement, I was talking about a verse that someone on Ritz's album had specifically about being a guest in hip-hop. That bird scared the shit out of me. I was talking about a verse that someone had on Ritz's album. I forget the MC's name right now, but he was specifically talking about being a guest in hip-hop. So I figured that everyone would kind of get that I was only talking about that, but nah. Look, I never said, nor do I agree, that white people can't redecorate the house of hip-hop to suit certain needs. All I agree with is that white people are a guest in the house of hip-hop. Hip-hop was made by black and brown people for black and brown people. After that, whites discovered it, became a part of it, and today are a totally welcomed and, in my opinion, needed addition into the world of hip-hop. I really don't see how that's far-fetched. I think people's initial reaction is to get defensive and take it as somebody saying whites shouldn't rap. Considering my favorite rapper is LP, who is white, I think it's a bit ridiculous that anyone would assume that I believe that white people shouldn't rap. And considering another one of my favorite rappers, Slug, who is biracial, a person who made it popular to actually talk about your feelings and vulnerabilities on a record, I think it's a bit ridiculous for anyone to think that I don't believe it's okay for rappers to redecorate hip-hop to suit their specific needs and personalities. The guest comment is the only comment I agree with. Outside of that, for the most part, I think Lord Jamar is a very ignorant and paranoid person. His views on race are a bit naive. His views on homosexuality are, God, beyond ridiculous and sometimes downright poisonous. So no, I don't agree with this whole rant. Just that one part of the comment. I'm sorry that you guys misunderstood that. I can't speak for Lord Jamar, nor would I ever in my life want to. But I can only speak for myself, and what I'm saying is I think that it's great that hip-hop is open to all races, all creeds, all nationalities, all religions, whatever. It's an art form, and everyone should be allowed to participate in that art form. And if you want to change certain aspects of that art form, I have no issue with that. If I don't agree with it, I don't have to buy it. I don't have to support it. And that's it. Next question. Water Resilient Smile said, "Hey Myke, just wondering why you only date white girls. What's your issue with black women? Is it a physical thing? Are you only with white women because they're easier to pull than black women?" I gotta take a drink after reading that ridiculousness. Oh my God. So I really shouldn't be surprised by anything I'm sent nowadays, no matter how unbelievably ignorant. So here's the thing. I'm pretty sure I don't know you personally. So where in the world did you get the idea that I exclusively date white women? I know I've never said that on my channel, nor have I ever said that on Dead End Hip Hop. And since we're not friends in real life, I know I didn't tell you that face to face either. So what does that mean? That means you made that up. But since you asked it, I'll go ahead and address it. Kind of. So I've made jokes with people that I don't like white girls like me. And let me explain that. I grew up in a certain way. I have certain passions and priorities, and factually, some of those passions and priorities, align more with certain people than they do with others. So here's the thing. I want you to ask yourself and be honest. How many black women, especially in the South, will be interested in a skinny black guy who wears tight jeans, doesn't go to church, grew up on punk rock, listens to satanic metal, is obsessed with cats, loves horror movies, hates Tyler Perry, and is vegan? Well, maybe the vegan part would fly, but the rest of that shit, come on, man. And before you try to twist this into some bullshit, oh, you're saying black women only like certain things. No, what I'm saying is, on average, where I live, I am not the preferred male for most black women. Or white women, or women in general. But I think you get what I'm saying. A person like me would have more luck with women who are into the same things I am into, because they wouldn't see the way I am as weird. That's really all it boils down to. Listen, in my years on this earth, I've dated every race in the spectrum, man. And I don't mean just dated, if you know what I mean. The only race I can think of that I haven't dated has been Asian. And that's not because of any preference. It's only because I just haven't met an Asian woman yet where a date scenario made sense. Would I be against dating anyone from any race? Fuck no! I don't date women based on race or social class. That's stupid. I date women based on how well we get along and simply how nice she is to me, and that's it. If that's a white woman, so be it. If that's a black woman, Middle Eastern woman, Jewish woman, who gives a shit? I like women too much to discriminate. Sure, I get the whole idea of wanting to date someone who's more like you, someone who can understand what you go through on a regular basis. There was a comedian, I don't remember who it was, but he was talking about how he'd like to come home and be able to relate to his lady on the basis of, I was harassed in this way today, or I experienced, prejudice or racism in this way today, and have her totally be able to relate. I totally get that, but that's not all that rules my life. I'm a fucking nerd, so when I come home, I want to talk about, the latest band that I discovered today, or the latest cool filmmaker that I found, or the latest, this weird artist that I found who likes to paint, killer squirrels with dick and sock fetishes. And if you can relate to me on that level, 9 times out of 10, we'll get along for the most part, So what's more important, sticking to my race while having to give up a part of myself, or dating someone who makes me happy regardless of what they look like? And I know how you guys like to deal in absolutes, so don't try to twist this shit around. I'm not saying that no black women exist who enjoy things that are alternative to what is a stereotypical part of black culture or the black community. But in my experience, honestly, I've met very few. The few that I've met that I found attractive and were attracted to me, I dated. And for whatever reason, those relationships, like many others, simply didn't work out. That's for another video, but I can tell you with certainty that had absolutely nothing to do with either of our skin tones. I know I'm weird in general. I especially know that I'm weird when it comes to what's acceptable in the black community. There's just no denying that. But you only date according to your options. And in the South, my options typically steer one way more than the other. Take that for what it is, But I'm not going to sit here and accept blame for this. All in all, I think this was a bit of an odd question. I think the people who only date certain races are a little weird to me. If you don't see things that way, that's fine. That's your prerogative. Do whatever makes you happy in life, and I'll do the same. But at the end of the day, who anyone else dates, race, religion, gender-wise, is none of anyone's fucking business but that person. And you, water-resistant smile, should not be even remotely concerned with that. Worry about who you are, and worry about who it is that you're attracted to, and worry about finding love in your life. I could totally be reading you wrong, but there seemed to be a little bit of animosity in your question, and I know text is very easy to misread as far as intent, emotion, context, those things, but yeah, it just seemed like you were a bit offended by this perceived idea that I never gave off nor said. But yeah, if I offended you, I can't say that I'm sorry because it wasn't intentional, and I think you're actually might be offended by something that's not even true. Yeah, let's go next question. Thought Bomb said, "Hey Myke, I just got out of a long distance relationship and this hurts. We were dating for months and all of a sudden she tells me she can't deal with the distance anymore. And she likes someone else. We were so committed and now I can't even think anymore. I know there's no magic wand for this to go away, but it's so tough on me. I wouldn't get into this type of relationship if she didn't mean something to me. It was so out of the blue and now I'm lost. Your thoughts? Shouts to you and DHH. Wow, dude. I am so sorry to hear about this. That's awful, man. Bitches, man. Bitches, you know what I'm saying? I'm kidding, ladies. I'm joking. No, coincidentally, I actually went through the same thing some years ago. I met someone here and was with them for a while. We talked about marriage, getting a house together, kids, all that good shit. She moved away. We decided to make it work long distance until she could come back. This went on for about a year, I would say. And she randomly told me one day that it was over. And my heart was completely broken, man. My way of coping with this was to drown myself in alcohol and music. I stayed on my couch for a straight week, didn't eat, just drank Jim Beam every night and listened to Merle Haggard's Going Where the Lonely Go and The Cure's Blood Flowers. I'm definitely not suggesting you go this route. I'm not sure if you were asking me for suggestions on how to get over this, or my thoughts on why she may have dumped you this way. Look, I'm no relationship expert, man. I'm 36, not married, no kids. I'm definitely not the person you should be asking this kind of shit to. Clearly, I'm a fuck up, you know? But if I had to give my ideas on it, which I do because you asked, hey man, I'm gonna welcome y'all to C-Town Relationship Corner. Cue that smooth ass midnight jam type of music. I don't really have any smooth midnight jazz type of music. So yeah, if you ask me, I would guess that it probably didn't have that much to do with you directly. But listen, I'm 36, man, and I don't pretend to understand how women work. I will say this. Men, we're a bit more used to internalizing things and not wanting to talk about our issues with people. You know, we're okay with not having someone there in the physical presence all the time. We don't necessarily need validation for a lot of things. But women need certain levels of companionship. With some of them, that includes actual physical touch or that connection that just can't be made over a telephone. They want their man there when they have a bad day at work, you know, or when they give an amazing presentation at school. They want you there to be, you know, that shoulder to lean on or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter how much they like you. You're not there, man. Fucked up thing is that other dude is. And if he's always around, no matter how much you call or text or Skype or whatever you young kids do nowadays, it's not gonna be enough. I don't want to imply that she was cheating on you or anything, but you know, 9 times out of 10, women are a lot smarter than dudes. So man, she could have been doing all kinds of sketchy shit without you knowing about it, man. You could have been sitting there on Skype, and that dude could have been in the background for all you know. On some straight up hateration Drake type shit, you know. Fuck that nigga that you love so much. I hate to sound like a defeatist, but when it comes to long distance relationships, man, I feel like they're nice cars with bad brakes. Great idea, great presentation, but at the end of the day, it's bound for disaster. The thing is though, those brakes squeal before they completely give out, which leads to my next point. One thing that really caught me with your letter is you saying that it was totally out of the blue. Dude, was it really? Are you sure that you weren't given warning signs that there was a problem? You know, a lot of times when people say this, I feel that in reality, there were signs, but either you were too oblivious to really pay attention to them, or you were choosing to ignore them in hopes that they'd go away and everything would be sunshine, rainbows, and unicorn shit again. I can tell you from experience, as I was practicing the latter with my long distance relationship, that this shit does not work, man. Ignoring the issues that your relationship is having doesn't make them disappear. It's not like the boogeyman, you know, or the monster under your bed. It's more like a fucking bad STD, man. You know it's there. You could try to pretend it's nothing, but man, at some point you gotta deal with them drips, pal. At the end of the day, you take every single breakup as a lesson learned. And I think the lesson to take away from this one is long distance relationships are bullshit. Don't do it. There's probably some people watching this in long distance relationships who are offended by what I'm saying, but hey, if you think it's working, wonderful, keep it up. Although you may want to double check with your partner, and just to make sure that it's not just working for you, then it's actually working for both of you. And if it's working for both of you, rad, man, you're an anomaly. You know, even a broken clock is right twice a day. So yeah, man, all I'm gonna say is don't beat yourself up over this. I don't know you personally. You didn't really give that many details in your story, so I don't know if maybe you were doing things wrong. I have no idea, but hey, man, just understand that it's over. She gone, bruh, and just get over it, man. There's plenty of women out there. Find you another one. So that's it for this edition of What Do You Want to Know? Thanks for watching, and as usual, thank you for living, thank you for loving, thank you for being you, and I will see you guys very soon. Peace, bitches. This is the long distance. Peace, bitches. Which is what you should have told that chick. You know what I'm saying? A long distance. Peace, bitch. Peace, bitch.